Well, welcome to the working hour.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Shane, and this is the working hour with Mike and Shane. So, this week's episode, we are reviewing none other than A Perfect Circle's 13th Step, released September 19th of 2003. Runtime of 50 minutes, 36 seconds. It's alternative metal, hard rock, art rock. The label was Virgin Records. It's the second studio album, follow-up to their 2000s album, Mare de Noms. I almost picked that. It was almost the album I picked.
Nice.
Well, aside from, the MF Doom one that I was talking about. It was like, well, which Perfect Circle album do I put
Gotcha.
So, but followed up by Emotive. It's funny because I remember whenever I first found out about A Perfect Circle, I went to Half Price Books, bought Emotive, and then came to school the next day, and I was like talking to Ron about it. He's like, "Oh, you bought Emotive?" He's like, "Dude,
that's not good.
That ain't it." He's like, "You really just bought that album for like 2 songs." I'm like, "Well, shit." Well, I mean, they're pretty good,
I like
though.
the deep tracks.
Yeah, all right.
I'm a real fan.
A lot of them are covers on Emotive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why it came out like a year later, and this was released like anyway. The singles are "Weak and Powerless," "The Outsider," and "Blue." Kind of surprised there's not more, honestly.
Yeah, there's a couple songs that would definitely stick out to me. That would be like
better than that. Yeah. Maybe not like as like I don't know. Maybe not as radio friendly, but I mean I don't know. I feel like they're on the same level.
Yeah, I mean I think they're fine. As far
Anyway.
as being radio friendly, I think they would be fine.
Yeah.
Like it's. I mean, this was 2003.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Still, I mean, pretty sure Eminem was on the radio. Granted, they were censoring it, but still, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about it. It's like "Weak and Powerless," "The Outsider," "Blue." Like those are all like.
Yeah, those are pretty tame songs.
Yeah, the other songs that I'm thinking of are kind of like in this same vein. Anyway, it got generally favorable reviews. The Metacritic rating is 74, with the outlier being Spin Magazine's a 4 out of 10. It's like feels a little harsh, but all right. Peaked at number 2 on the U.S. Billboard Top 200. It's a certified platinum. Lead singer is Maynard James Keenan. Billy Howardell on guitars, backup vocals.
He was a producer too.
Yeah, it was. I probably should have included that. He also did the artwork and the like art direction of the band.
Nice.
So then Josh Freeze, drums, backup vocals. Says parentheses on Pet. And then we got Twiggy Ramirez, bass. And Twiggy. Doing bass and backing vocals, also on Pet. Troy Van Leeuwen, guitar on The Package, Vanishing, and Gravity. Let me see. Paz Lanchanton doing strings on Gravity. And Danny Lohner doing guitar on The Noose and additional production.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was on the producers too.
He was also on there. Okay. You got anything to add?
Well, I think I have a little thing about the album being a concept.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if you wanted me to share that now.
Good.
So this is actually a quote from Maynard. He says, "I don't think the album is specifically for people who are going through recovery, although the metaphor is absolutely present. Many of the songs are sung from the perspectives of recovery, from the perspective of a person who's in denial about a loved one, and from the drug perspective itself. The perspective of a person who is starting to realize that there is an issue, and of a person who is ready to deal with it." End quote.
It's funny because I had like one more bit, but it like switched over to like the next page, and that was the exact fucking quote. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's
I saw a couple quotes from people in the band.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who it was from, but I was like, I like the Maynard one better.
Yeah.
But they were very similar.
For sure. Yeah, it's and there's like a couple like points on the album that like I was trying to figure out like what the song meant, and like it's I knew what the concept of the album was, but like when he talked about it being from like the like perspective of like the drug itself, like there's like a point or two where I'm like, does he mean like so?
Do you want to try to maybe call those out if we see them?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna write about that, but I was like, I feel like I'm just gonna be saying something about it every time. But now that we talked about it, it's like, maybe I should have. We'll see.
I I would say there is.
Oh, I'd say the majority of the songs.
Yeah, but I'm saying like one song in specific. I'm like, I do think it is like from a drug perspective, like from the drugs perspective itself.
Are you gonna
You know what I mean?
tell us, or are you gonna?
When we get to it.
Okay, all right. Well, do you want to get us started?
Yeah, track number 1 at 7 minutes and 40 seconds. The Package. Fuck, it's a long song to kick off the album with.
Yeah, I was like, once it got down to the end, because I want to say the last track's pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this has got to be the longest song, and then I was like, oh, that's right, that one's almost 8 minutes.
Got it. So yeah, song is about buying drugs. Like, it's definitely what that is. Quiet strings with like a light background drumming. It's a really like long and steady build up, and it like, I don't know, it definitely takes its time.
It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah, like maybe even like 2+ before it like actually like really starts to kick off. Eye on what I'm after. I don't need another friend. Not on watch your lips move. If you need me to pretend. And then once 204 comes around, that's when like the music like really drops and kicks in, and give this to me. Then the drop hits.
Yeah, it gets pretty aggressive.
It does.
Especially for an opening track.
Yeah, and I like just him like mine, like take what's mine.
Okay, Monkey Man.
Yeah. And the guitar and the drums, I mean, they hit really hard. The drums also have like this thing where it's less like percussive, I guess. And it's more I don't know, whenever they come down, they have like this like thwack, like this rapid beat. So thwack, 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 thwack. Like, I don't know.
It could have been the sticks he was using, maybe instead of being like drumsticks. They were like, you ever seen where they use like the padding one, and it makes a lot different noise.
Okay.
So maybe, I don't know. We're not musicians by any
No.
stretch of the imagination.
But
far from it.
No, it has a very like unique like sound though at points, and I'm like, oh, I really like the sound of that. Also, this is one thing I noticed, and I fucking love this. I love how his vocals come in really soft, and like, they gradually get like a little louder and louder, and they get fucking louder, and then like it gets to the point where he's like almost feral when he's like mine, like fucking mine.
Yeah.
And then it finally like kind of like softens out and like goes quiet again. And I put it goes quiet again once he's quote unquote fed the monster. Vocals the vocals have like this, I don't know, intense like sincerity to them where it's like, I'm pretty sincere, but like, oh,
I need this.
Yeah, fucking need it. All right.
My back is fucked up.
All right, I need those perks. Yeah, I put it's a banger of a song and a really good way to kick off the album. I gave it a 9.2.
Okay, all right. I put the same thing. Like, I thought the percussion was really powerful. I thought it was like, it's kind of like more of a chest deep percussion. Like, I listened to it in the car, and then I listened to it in the earbuds, and then I was listening out in my garage with a pretty decent stereo, and I was like, I should have put the woofer on. Didn't even have the woofer on, but I kind of had to like stop it when I was writing this a couple nights ago, and like turn it up because I wanted to actually hear it a little bit louder because I thought it was like the music probably was like the best part of it for me. So just like cranking it up to hear the drum, really just the percussion of the song. But yeah, Maynard comes in really quiet, and just take just what I came for. It does drop the name of the song pretty early in the
on the package. Yeah.
And then, lying to get what I came for, lying to get just what I need, lying to get what I crave, lying smile to get what's mine. I thought the song kind of had like an angry vibe to it, but it reminded me, like every time I heard it, I think you've seen Mulan, right? The Disney movie?
Yeah.
I just kept thinking of like the Mongols in that movie and like Genghis Khan.
Okay.
Them just like, because they like pillage, like, they go through the village.
Mm-hmm.
And so this song kind of made me think of it, even though it is clearly a drug reference. But yeah, it gets like really aggressive at one point, and then like towards the end, like the last minute, it starts to kind of quiet down, like you were saying. Actually, no, not 4 minutes. I'm sorry, 6 minutes. So it's that last minute, and it kind of just fades out that way. I thought it was pretty good. Once I listened to the album a little bit, this one wasn't like top tier for me, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it just a 7.
Okay.
But still a great opening track, very aggressive.
Okay. Right on.
And then we're going into track number 2, Weekend Powerless, at 3 minutes 15 seconds. Is that what you have on time? Because we were off
What was
3
it?
seconds, 3 minutes and 15.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Oh, nice. We were off 3 seconds. I have 7:43 on the first one.
Hmm.
I don't think
I
we need
don't
to
know.
bring this up every week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
no.
always happens.
I just don't want you to think when I'm reading, you're like, this jackass
Piece of
doesn't
shit.
even know the time.
It's like, why don't you cite your work real quick, pal?
But this song, Weekend Powerless, I knew this one coming in to the album. This was the only one that I knew. Now I knew other songs off it, and I'll get into that when we get to them. But this one was like already on my Spotify like songs,
Mm-hmm.
and I went into it like, all right, at least I know number 2. Like that's a banger for me. Went
Mm.
into it with that mindset. Came out like
Yeah.
that's not the bang. No, it's still good. It's still good. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, there's a couple other songs that definitely you got nothing.
Yeah.
Um, let me see what did I actually write that's about the song. It kind of starts out kind of quiet and goes for more of a heavy. I don't think it's an angry song like the first song. I think it's definitely someone that's dealing with addiction because you're just literally just weak and powerless over something.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think anybody who's had any kind of addiction, even if it's like a drug addiction or nicotine or
I'm trying to pick mine right
caffeine.
now.
Yeah, no, I seen you over there with the. At least we're not smoking cigarettes this week. Not yet, anyway, folks.
Yeah. Anyways.
Might have to break out the whiskey and a shot glass. But anyways, nonetheless, let me get back to the song. I thought it was good. I didn't really write a lot about it musically, but it is a solid song for me. I gave it an 8.5.
Okay. I put the song. It kicks off at around 18 seconds in. Just gets right into it. Like tilling my own grave to keep me level. Jam another dragon down the hole. Digging to the rhythm and the echo of solitary siren of a solitary siren. One that pushes me along and leaves me so desperate and ravenous.
Yeah.
I'm so weak and powerless over you.
Over you.
Over you. I put crippling addiction and having to feed it to just like kind of stay steady. The whole song has like this vibe of like desperate urgency, especially like vocally. Like
But see, I thought similar vibes in track 1. Like I didn't really think about it, but once you said it, like yeah, desperate, like you're just trying to get what you need. But
Mhm.
track 2 is way different, right?
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's I don't know. Yeah, it definitely seems desperate, like the way that he's like desperate and urgent, the way that he's like delivering his vocals. Like he's rattling them off quick, you know. Not
Yeah.
get like
I like
it's
the
like telling
vibe
my
of
own
this.
grave to
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
like he's getting it out there.
In my own grave to keep me level.
So yeah, no, I mean it's good. I give it a 7.3 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that I don't have like more going on like musically.
Yeah, I didn't. I think it was just because I was like, oh, I know the song, so I just assumed that everybody else knows it, and I just didn't write much about it.
Yeah. But yeah, 7.3. Now this, I gave this a high rating, just so you know.
Oh, same.
Yeah. Coming in track number 3, 4 minutes and 53 seconds, The Noose. The guitar and background vocals sound very like angelic at the start, and then the drums kind of come in. They're like very foreboding. 104 music hits like a bit of a darker tone. See, I already have like more musically on this song than I did on the last one.
Yeah, I'm glad we both had that though. Sorry, listeners.
There's a strong bass that comes in at like 304 when Maynard says, "But I'm more than just a little curious about how you're planning on going about making your amends." And recall the deeds as if they're all someone else's atrocious stories. Now you stand reborn before us all, so glad to see you well. And not to pull your halo down around your neck to tug you to the ground. Sorry, that's a long quote. You're like, motherfucker, that's like, I broke my quote up into threes and you got it all.
Nah, I mean, I would probably do the same. Like sometimes I feel like I do. I think I did that at one point in this. I wrote like at least 2 lines.
Yeah.
It's just lyrics.
I think it's since I have the tablet now, I think it's just like drag finger,
Yep.
get heavy finger
I'm
with
getting
it.
everything. Do I need this? Maybe not.
No. Even though, like, I mean, at the same time, though, like, the lyrics are really fucking good.
Yeah,
on
sometimes
this,
you
so
have
it's
to
like,
tie it all together.
It's like,
Especially if it's a theme. And this being a concept album, and there's many points where it's like, yeah, it's kind of storytelling.
Past mistakes, like, they, still exist even when you try to ignore them. Subtly builds to explicit music. It's, and also, I really like the idea of, like, a halo, like, turning into a noose. Like, that's, okay.
It's like bent neck.
Yeah, like bent neck lady. So I'm like, that's interesting writing. I kind of like that. It's either like good or it's like actually just kind of edgy. But I'm leaning good.
You lean
on
into
this
good.
one.
I think it's more edgy than good, but
I'm leaning good on this. I give this a 9.5. Yeah, this
okay.
is, in my opinion, this is like one of their best. I could show this to pretty much anyone that I'm like, yeah, I think they might like.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that.
Circle. So.
Yeah, I put and not to pull your halo down. I thought that was like a great verse. Like I can listen to that over and over again. I was familiar with this one, but I didn't like know the name of it. I didn't even know it was a perfect circle. But his Maynard's like vocal delivery and the music striking at the same time makes the song like. I mean, there's certain songs. I think I'm a sucker for that in a song where like they speak right on time with the music. Like I'm sure that there's a technical term for that. More.
Yeah. You planning on? Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm more than just a little curious. Yeah. No, I thought that was good too, and I think he does like a layover with the voice, like a backing track, and it's his own voice, and they're kind of labeled. That's at the very end.
Yeah, where it's
like
saying
I thought that was like.
Else. Yeah.
I'm getting fucked.
It's
chubby time.
It's a really nice, like, it builds to a nice crescendo there.
Yeah, 100%.
And the music's building too during all of that.
So I didn't really like find a super meaning to it. Like I know we kind of talked about like basic off the concept album. I didn't really dig that much into it. I'm sure I could, and I think you touched on it a little bit. But I really just think it's a great song. It's a great piece of ear food. I'm gonna say that. And like you said, I would show this to someone for sure if they didn't really know. Like if they knew a Tool, they never heard of a Perfect Circle, I would play this for them for sure. 9.0 for me out of 10.
Okay.
Might be my highest rated.
Okay.
Because I definitely came out of it. It's probably my favorite. I think there's one other that might compete with it.
Is it?
No, we'll get into it.
Okay. Probably towards the end of the album. Anyway.
All right. Next song. Track number 4. Blue. I got it at 4 minutes, 14 seconds. I put that I thought it sounds like Pictures of You by The Cure on the intro, but I think it's for like a split second.
Okay.
Best to keep
things... Yeah, it really is just like a split second before it, like...
Yeah. Best to keep things in the shallow end, because I never quite learned how to swim. Calling off the mist, she's turning blue, such a lovely color for you. I thought this point, like I wrote the quote about it being what the album was about before I did my like individual song writing. About my thoughts, and at this point I was like, oh yeah, I could see why this is a concept album 100%. So I put that. I think it really kind of sets the tone, like for sure this is a concept album. Just different perspectives of addiction. I was kind of torn because like I didn't find the song super appealing to me. I think it is good. As a concept album, I give it an 8, like a song on the concept album.
Yeah.
But my personal 7.2, just because I was like, it didn't really do a whole lot for me. But with the concept, I can respect it. I give it a 7.8. So we'll go like 7.5 overall score.
Okay. So I got like song kicks off right away. That like it kicks off right away. At like 46 seconds in, there's a electric guitar background twang that comes in, and it appears a few more times, like specifically between like 3:03 and 3:35. There's like a good stretch of it being used.
3:03. I can't do it.
That's pretty good. Not bad. No, it wasn't very good.
It wasn't at all, dude. It hurt my fingers.
Mistook their nods for an approval. Just ignore the smoke and smile. Call an optimist. She's turning blue, such a lovely color for you. The song about denial fits because the chorus almost sounds. It almost kind of has like this like spiral esque sound. I feel like it starts high. It's like call an optimist. She's turning blue, such a lovely color for you. Maybe for you. Like I don't know. It's hard to explain. Maybe I'm just like the one that's hearing that, but it has like this spirally sound to it. I really like. It's a great song. It's one of my favorites. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Nice. Okay.
Don't worry. I promise I'm not just going to be glazing this album.
No. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you do fuck with this album pretty hard.
It is a good album.
So
I hadn't listened to it for a while.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, the chorus of it is pretty damn good. Such a lovely color for you. I just didn't like his sound as much on that song.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't sound like something Weak and Powerless or The Noose. I think that's what spoiled me.
Okay, so back on to me. We have track number 5, 4 minutes and 51 seconds. We have Vanishing. Disappear, disappear, higher, higher into the air. Slowly disappear. No, no longer here. Song could be about relapsing, getting high, or just general like disintegration, like of an addict. I do like the whisper of like a thought brushing up against a sigh. And there's like a drone, and there's like this droning like floating away. The instrumentation on this song is kind of a standout. Like at least for like from this song, that's kind of what stood out more was the music. Because I mean, there wasn't much going on vocally.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of lyrics really going on. And the vocals were like kind of muffled. Bass and drums like really captured my attention on this. I was never crazy about the song. After the last few listens, though, it did grow on me a little bit more. And then I really did like the long like fade out that it had on it. I give this a 7.3.
I did the same thing. So yeah, I thought it was a super quiet intro till about 35 seconds, something like that. I thought it'd be something kind of cool, like to see live, just because of how that opens up, the build up. I don't really have a whole lot for it. I thought the bass line of the song was really entertaining. I thought the percussion was good. I thought it was like reserved, like held back a little bit, but fitting for the song, not too overdone. The music kind of just is loud and then it fades out. I thought the lyrics of the song were kind of sad, but I thought the music was like really pretty. Definitely like the prettiest track. But it kind of still a standout. But yeah, I give it the same thing, 7.3 out of 10.
Nice.
So I think we've had that's at least like the third 7.3, because I know you gave a 7.3. Then we just each gave a 7.3. Moving on though, track number 6, A Stranger, coming in at pi is what I have it at, 3 minutes 14 seconds. This part of the album, I don't want to say I hit an iceberg, but I hit something.
Hit a bit of a wall.
Yeah, just kind of like, I don't know. I think like just Weak and Powerless and The Noose kind of like set me so fucking high up.
Oh yeah, no,
But I mean, Blue was still a good song. Vanishing, meh. But I feel like I gave Vanishing almost the same score overall. I gave Blue a 7.5. But anyways, I like the strumming of the guitar. I did write that. I thought that was really nice. It just didn't really like hit on a personal level. Not something I could like crank up loud and like really thoroughly enjoy. So I only gave it a 6 out of 10, and I did put a sad face.
Okay.
So I wanted to like it.
I get there's not a whole lot going on.
Yeah, I think that's probably a majority of it.
And I mean, the album does like start off like very strong, like we were saying. So like this could be just like a little patch. There's almost like a whooshing air sound at the very start of it. Very clear acoustic guitar. You're a stranger, so what do I care? You vanished today, not the first time I hear. All the lies. Song about a relationship with an erratic person and difficulty that comes with it. One of the quieter songs on the album. Very simple musically. There's like a pretty like fun inclusion of like some strings around like 1 minute and 15 seconds in. Maybe it's like violin. I don't know. Something like that. There's voice distortion, some layering, piano, and like really dramatic piano. Like it's just, I don't know. Oh, dramatic piano and drum beats at 2 minutes and 7 seconds. And then again at 2:16. Whenever they say Shy Away Phantom. It's let me see. So I gave Vanishing a 7.3. I gave this a 7.5.
Okay.
So I do like it more than Vanishing.
Really? Okay.
But not too much more. On to track number 7. At 4 minutes and 6 seconds, we have The Outsider. This was actually my first song to listen to by A Perfect Circle. I think the first time I heard it was probably Resident Evil Afterlife, because Noah was really into those movies and we went and saw in theaters, and there's a fight scene where the song plays.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I'm like, oh, that's pretty good.
I like
it. Not bad. Per Maynard. In the case of The Outsider, it's sung from the perspective of a person who doesn't understand at all what their friend is going through, what their loved one is going through. And they think that it is more like a sprained ankle and they can just kind of walk it off.
I got that, yeah. It makes it pretty clear.
Yeah. It's pretty condescending,
yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
What'll it take to get it through to you, precious? Go with this. Why do you want to throw it away like this? Such a mess. Why would I want to watch you disconnect and self-destruct one bullet at a time? One of the heavier songs on the album. Really love the guitar at the 16 note.
Yeah. It got kind of wild.
Yeah. Like, I really like that. And then again at what is it? It's love the guitar at 16 and at the 29-second mark before it really kicks off. Also really like his delivery of whenever he says disconnect. Like, his voice gets nice and high whenever he says it, and it's good. I like the way he enunciates it. Nice tone shift at 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and it brings in like an echoey vocal distortion where he says like, they were right about you. And then there's like a sharp guitar during the final breakdown at 3 minutes and 38 seconds. I gave this a 9 out of 10. Like, this is a really fucking good banger of a song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice intro. I like the guitar, and Maynard comes in, help me if you can. It's just not the way I'm wired. I thought the song carried a lot of energy.
Absolutely.
You're pounding on a fault line. What will it take to get you through this, precious? I'm over this. Why do you want to throw it away like this? Such a mess. Why would I want to watch you? Same thing you said. But it's definitely like an iconic lyric in the song. Again, this just hits the nail on the head as a concept album. Like, I feel like you could go into this not listening to what we said in the beginning with Maynard's quote, but like you would figure it out if you're old enough and wise enough.
Right.
Maybe as a young lad, back before I was banging, I wouldn't have known.
Right.
But
you're like, I've had sex. I think the song sounds about fucking drug
I'm just
addicts,
like
man.
mid-missionary, just like, wait a minute.
And she's like, goes to say something. Shh. Hold on, I'm thinking.
I gotta go get my CDs. My cassettes. Where are my cassettes?
It's like, do you like A Perfect Circle?
Cause your boobies.
Imperfect.
And not a perfect circle. Builds character though. Yeah, again, it's another song where I had to kind of crank up as I was listening to it later on, just because I wanted to like feel the vibe of it. I didn't find it like super appealing to me again, but like it was one of the better. I don't want to say better, but it was one of the more songs on the album where you're like, oh yeah, concept album, 100%. This is what it's about through and through. I only gave it a 7.5. Like it was good. It's just still like, I don't know. It's not 100% the sound that I like to hear, but I think like I'm just biased because conditions of my parole kind of skirted it for me, and then just like some general Tool stuff.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm not a very deep track listener. But yeah, not a bad song. Not a bad song by no means. Moving on. Track number 8. Crimes. 2 minutes, 37 seconds. Now this song, let me tell you, folks.
This song.
And they don't do this to you just once. I found this out.
No, they do this twice.
Yes. I thought there's a...
Suck balls.
Well, there's a noise at like 1:26 where it's just like, yeah. There's something in the background.
Okay.
And I can't... Well, maybe you listen to it and get a little chuckle. You're like, Mike said there's a funny part at 1:26, so we gotta listen to it.
Okay.
It reminded me of like a game loading screen. I put like for Tom Clancy because I had this Tom Clancy game back in the day, and I'm like, I could see this being on the like the loading screen on like a loop, a short loop.
Do you know what Tom Clancy game it was?
Ghost Recon, I think.
Okay.
No, I don't think it was because that was a different.
Okay. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it was one of those Splinter Cell games.
Hard to say, dude.
Okay.
It was like PlayStation 2, very young, Mike.
Okay.
I can look it up later, and I'll be able to tell you.
All right.
Yeah, I just didn't really. I don't get the point of songs like this because there's just not a lot to get. It reminded me of the Alt J album we did.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the track, but This Is All Yours. We did an album review on that, and it had a song similar to this.
Was it the one with the forest sounds?
Yeah, and it was like the nature-y vibe.
Mhm.
Yeah, like what the hell is this?
That's shit.
I mean, it's not like terrible. It's not the worst, but I'm just like, it's hard for me to give anybody anything on it. I only gave it a 5 out of 10 just because. And nothing.
Okay. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9,
That does
9,
count.
9, 10, 10,
I'm
10,
gonna teach Letty
10,
how to
10.
count this song.
It's more of an interlude than an actual song. It is kind of ominous, kind of uneasy, like energy to it. Industrial sound to drums and screeching guitar with distorted vocals in the background. I gave this a 5 out of 10. There's not much
Nice.
more to it.
I'm
Yeah.
glad we're the same.
Yeah, it's like I can only do so much with this. I mean, it's not like it's for what it is. It's well made, I guess, but there's not a whole lot to it. So, it is what it is. That's it.
was right.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I had that. Never got very far into it. Never understood. I was just a dumb kid, man. I didn't know how to play games like that.
No, for sure. It seemed like back in the day there were a lot of like more tactical military shooter type games where it's like you and I like if we're not really
I mean, I would play it again just to
right
because I can remember parts of it, but like literally I never got past like the third mission because I just
it's like this is fucked.
Yeah.
This is fucked.
and the graphics weren't great back then either.
No. So track number 9 we have at 4 minutes and 4 seconds we have The Nurse Who Loved Me. It's a cover of a classic song by
Is it really?
by Failure. It's off Fantastic Planet.
Okay, maybe that's what I was confusing this with.
Yep.
My whole life has changed.
Yep. Song is a cover. I'm taking her home with me.
That was a cover.
Thank you. That was a cover. Don't get mad at us. I'm taking her home with me, all dressed in white. She's got everything I need, some pills in a little cup. It's very quiet and reserved vocally. Almost sounds like it almost sounds like the lyrics are coming through like a phone receiver.
It's very treble heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a to it.
Yeah.
So.
Like over a walkie.
Yeah, it does
walkie-talkie.
It does sound like it's like a recording, but like, you know what I mean?
Recording. Not that bad.
But the music has an almost like the music is really interesting because it has like this like very grand, almost like fairy tale-esque like sound to it. I don't know, it's very tranquil. You know what I mean? And it also has like these angelic like strings and vocalizations on it that are really interesting. They definitely put their own unique spin on this song, and I really like that. I like that they didn't just do a 1-for-1 copy. I give this a 7.8 out of 10.
So I put that I had heard this before, but now I don't know if I've heard the Failure version or this version. It kind of blew everything I wrote out of the water because I kind of wrote that I thought it was one of the best written songs on the album, but they didn't write it.
Okay.
I mean, that doesn't kill everything, but I thought it was more of a softer track, but again, that kind of defeats it because it is a cover, but still, just a nice, kind of quiet song. I was like, might be the best written song on the album? Wrong! She's Got Everything I Need, Pharmacy Keys. Super clever. I liked it. I gave it an 8.2.
Okay. I was gonna say you're gonna go listen to like the Failure version and be like, yeah, that a Perfect Circle one. Bump that down a little bit.
I'm gonna come back, edit my review, and be like 2.6.
It does like it's funny because it starts off like very like quiet with acoustic, and then like by the end he's so pass it a little cup, and then like the instrumentation's going nuts. It's very good, very good.
All right, guys, moving on. Track number 10. We got Pet.
I'm gonna have a pet. I'm gonna have a pet.
Yeah,
and he burns the house down.
Aquatine.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I said it. I just like that's from something, but I don't know what.
Oh.
Pet.
Like, I'm gonna have a pet.
I put that it was fast and aggressive for the first 30 seconds, and then it gets quiet for like the next 15 seconds, and then it just fucking heavy instrumental with Maynard's vocals. I like the riff a lot in this. It's like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I thought that was very good. I find this album overall, I'll say, because we're pretty far into it, I battle with liking the vocals on some tracks, but not necessarily vibing with the music. And then there's tracks where I vibe with the music and the vocals, and then there's other tracks where I only vibe with like the instrumental.
Okay.
And this might have been one that I kind of sided more with the instrumental, but I did I did think that Maynard's sound was the best for me on this song in particular. I just like the way his voice sounded.
Mm-hmm.
So the riff and Maynard's vocals made it better. I thought it got better towards the end of the song too, like the later half. I thought the album was, or not the album, but the song was better. It kind of builds.
It does.
And I mean, 4 minutes 36 seconds. I feel like that's a pretty good average for a song. They didn't stretch it out, and it wasn't like a 7-minute track. Like I thought maybe the first track was a little stretched out. I'm gonna give this 8.1.
Okay. Yeah, heavy rock into like an abrupt cut to quiet guitar at like the 29-second mark. I like he also kind of comes in with the whisper again of like, don't fret, precious, I'm here. Step away from the window, go back to sleep.
Back to sleep, Betty.
Yeah, there you go. So like, I relate. Song does a really great job at jumping back and forth between like loud then quiet, then back to loud, then back to quiet. Up until like I'm gonna say like 3 minutes and 16 seconds, when it's basically just like full speed ahead, like until the end of the song. That's where it like really just ramps up. And I don't know, my personal opinion, I think the song is either from the like perspective of the drug itself, like keeping you as the pet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Could be that, or it could be like a parent trying to like keep you safe from like
Yeah, I
what's
thought that
going on
too.
outside.
But then again, I thought it was like I'll keep you safe from the boogeyman.
Yeah,
I mean, that wasn't in this? That wasn't on this track, was it?
it is.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I could see it more being from the drug
yeah.
perspective.
Well, I was gonna say with the name Pet, like it does kind of seem like
Pet?
why don't you go back to sleep, huh?
Yeah.
Go back to sleep. It's all right. Don't fret. I'm here. So, but yeah, I like stay with me, go back to sleep. 344 to 422. Really love the guitar riff, and I like that. Go to sleep, like
That makes me want to go to bed.
Fucking, I give it an 8.3 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. On to track number 11, coming in at 2 minutes and 1 second. Got Lullaby. They did it twice. They done it to us twice.
Can't fool me once.
You ain't gonna get fooled again.
The Who ain't gonna get fooled again.
The Who ain't gonna get fooled again. Distorted, go back to sleep. Like, oh. And then there's like other whispers. I also like the. It's another song that's more of an interlude, than it is an actual song. But I will say I like this one does like fit pretty well with Pet, just because go to sleep. Either a tranquil state from the drug use or shelter from ugliness of the world going off of my like interpretation of Pet. Steady, almost like electronic like glitch to like the drums throughout the song. And then there's some like background strings that sound like very distant. You know what I mean? It kind of comes in towards like the latter half of the song. And it has a nice little fade out. I enjoy the interlude more than I do the previous one, more than I do Crimes, just because I feel like it works better as a companion piece because it has Pet right there. I give this a 6.2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't as sweet as the rating as you were. which is kind of funny when I gave it. I just looked down and seen, which I could boost it. You kind of swayed me a little bit. But yeah, at first I was like, oh no, this ain't happening again. And then I pulled up the lyrics and I was like, all right,
It's happening again.
we'll stick it out. I mean, it's 2 minutes, 4 seconds. What's the worst that can happen? I don't understand these tracks. And I get it's an interlude, but I feel like I've listened to stuff before where they put, in quotation marks, interlude
Yeah.
or something next to it. So you kind of know. Not that would change my score, my rating, or anything on the song. But I did think this one fit better. I thought this one was better. I thought, because I mentioned earlier the Alt Dre track on This Is All Yours. You can check out our channel. We did a review on that. I thought it was better than out of the three.
Mm-hmm.
The other one on this song, Crimes, or no, it wasn't Crimes.
No, it's Crimes.
Okay, it was. Okay, I had to scroll up. The Alt J and then Lullaby. I thought Lullaby was by far the best. I only gave it a 5.1 though, just because I was like, I'm only going to give it 0.1 better
That's
than the
all I
other,
can
just
do.
because I'm not an interlude dude. So you know what? I'm gonna die on this hill as the old man, and I'm gonna say, yeah, interludes.
Not for you.
Maybe
Okay.
someday one of them will win me over if it's something I really dig. But
Okay. Yeah. No, I couldn't help it. Like give this like a fairly better score.
it
than the
is
last
better.
One.
I mean, I could easily give it a 6. Like 5.1 is not the one. It's just if you're not a fan of interludes, it's like who's gonna. Lullaby is my. I thought about writing that and just being like, "This is my favorite track on the whole album," and just to see what your face would be like.
Like no.
Like,
Liar.
you are an imposter.
Speaking of crimes,
You're a fraud.
That's a crime. Where's your halo? I won't pull it down, tug you to the ground.
All right, and then last but certainly not least, we have Gravity coming in at 5 minutes and 6 seconds. Dizzy and clearly unable to just let this go, I am surrendering to the gravity and the unknown. Catch me. He's like, catch me. Heal me. Lift me back up to the sun. I choose to live. Yeah, I thought it was a great verse. Dizzy and clearly unable to let this go. High and surrendering to the gravity of the unknown. Catch me, heal me. It's pretty much the same verse, but it changes it up slightly. I think this is, if not the best, one of the best closing tracks on an album we've done. Probably the best. I can't think of one that really finished off super strong. This was definitely.
Was this the song that you're like, that might be the one?
This is the one that, for me, really, Gravity, The Nurse Who Loved Me, Blue was alright, and The Noose, Weak and Powerless. There's really only those four tracks.
Okay.
Or did I say 5? That's 5. That really hit it for me. But yeah, I thought the lyrics on this were great. Again, this is another track where his vocals are kind of syncing with the music, the beats, the tempo, the rhythm, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I didn't give it a super sky high score, but 8.5 is what I'm giving it. Like I said, I thought it was a great closing track. I don't have a lot to analyze about it. I mean, it's great. It reminds me of The Noose.
Okay.
Just based on the overall sound, it doesn't really sound like something Weak and Powerless. Similar to that track anyways, or The Nurse Who Loved Me, but I thought it was a great closing track.
Yeah. So I remember talking with Ron and Justin back in the day. And like this topic came up of like, if the world was about to end and you had time for like one more song, like what would it be? And they like both agreed on this being like, their last song. Yeah. So I was like, oh shit. I'm like, it does have a sense of finality to it. I am surrendering to the gravity and the unknown. Catch me, heal me, lift me back up to the sun. I choose to live. Song about someone making the decision to get clean and sober to heal themselves. Musically, it's very, very beautiful. Despite some of the heavier moments in the song, it is like rather soothing and gives like a very thematic like feeling of release, and like it's very good. I don't know, it's almost hypnotic kind of. Fart. It is another one of their best songs. Like, I mean, especially off of this album, it's probably like, it's top 3 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of their best. I personally gave this like a 9.7. It could be a 10 out of 10 on the right day, though. It could be. I know. I've had some time to like sit with this album though, and like I've listened to it a lot.
Yeah, you already knew what you were getting yourself into.
Yeah, I really do love this song though. But yeah, and it's a very good way to close out the album. I like. It really does wind down. It has the do 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 do, and like strumming and I choose to live. Sounds like it's just backing out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um. So yeah, and I mean it's a song about like just deciding to get clean, which is like ironic given the title name, the 13th Step, 12-step program. So the 13th step is the relapse. So, and that's track number 12. I didn't even really look into it very much, but like
It does make sense.
that, like it would be like the 12-step program. There's
I
12
did
songs
see
on
that,
here.
but yeah, I should have put that in there.
Yeah. So
This is the 13th step. You listen to this and you're like,
you're like, I'm getting back on drugs.
I'm gonna go get high now.
Yeah. So overall, what'd you think of the album?
Overall, good. I don't really know anything. There is one other song. We can talk about it later. We don't have to bring it up now because I'm not trying to look it up. I found by a perfect circle that just played the other day. Because every time
3 Libras.
maybe, I don't know. I did add it to my like song, so I'll be able to tell you. But every time we do this album review, I'm a big fan of the Spotify DJ. I put it on at work just so I don't have to pick songs. It just does everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
It played it, and I was like, all right, I fucking like this. But it always tells me, like I've brought it up before, you were in the top 1% of listeners last month. Or it was like, the week before, it's like, you listened to Lord for 436 minutes this week.
Yeah, boy.
Keep it up. Here's some more Lord for you.
Yeah,
It's just like,
right.
that's not DJ X's voice at all, but you get the point. Overall, though, yeah, I thought it was good. Not a big, like, I don't know if I'll really revisit the whole album all the way through again. But I find comfort in knowing, because I don't really know anything else by them other than the one song that I did not name because I don't know. I find comfort in this album because I thought it was overall, it was a pretty good album.
Yeah.
Nothing you're gonna suffer through. Like it's not that bad. The interludes, I could probably go without them.
Thankfully they're like pretty short.
Yeah. So
Yeah, man.
like driving in the car when I first put the song on my trip up north to Michigan, this was a pretty easy listen. I don't know if it fit my mood the whole way because it was kind of I don't want to say angry, but the, heavy emotion, I guess, would be what I would consider it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a heavy topic. Heavy
emotional
emotion.
like turmoil almost.
Yeah, and I was like maybe not 100% in the mood for it the first time I listened to it, but I listened to it probably 4 or 5 times all the way through. I'd say maybe not all the way through, but at least 3 times all the way through in a sit-down session. But yeah, not something I'd probably go back and re-listen to, but it's definitely got 3 strong bangers off it. Like if you listen to Weak and Powerless, The Noose, or Gravity, and you don't like any of those, like
This ain't for you.
Yeah, this ain't for you at all. I don't think you'd be a fan of Tool,
Right.
or any of the other side projects because who knows how many more he's gonna have. But yeah, overall score of the album, I'd probably go. I'm just gonna say 7, just because I was gonna say 6.5, but the bangers on it make it worth it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I mean, I really like this album. Even with like the interludes, they're short enough that like if you're not in the know, by the time you like, is this going anywhere? The song's
Yeah, I think
over.
revisiting it, they wouldn't bother me as much because I know they're short.
Yeah.
That does help.
And yeah, no, I enjoyed. Let me just like point out. some
When was the
highlights for
first
me.
year you listened to this album?
First year I properly listened to was probably like
14?
something like that.
So pretty, well, no, I was going to say pretty, because I keep thinking it came out in 2013. When I was driving
Mm-hmm.
in the car and I pulled, it was like my phone was sitting somewhere, the light was like, the sun was hitting it. And I couldn't see, and I just saw like 2
and a
and
3.
then a 3, and I was like, 2013, okay, so it's
Wow.
pretty, it's new enough.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, 2003, that's really old.
Yeah. The package, Weak and Powerless, The Noose, Blue, The Outsider, Pet, and Gravity, like all of those, like really do it for me. The other songs, like they do. I mean, obviously, aside from like the interludes, not as much, but like those.
I mean, it's a strong
are very
list.
good. That is. It is. Those are all very enjoyable songs. Overall, I really liked it. It kind of makes me want to go and listen to Mayor de Noms because I hear. Because I was talking to Ron about it. And
That's the first album, the debut album in 2000.
Yeah, and
Okay.
according to him, anyways, it's on the same level. So
And they only have 3 albums.
no,
They don't? Okay, that's just what I have the chronological.
yeah,
order
yeah,
of the
yeah,
3.
on Wikipedia,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was Mayor de Noms. It was this Emotive, And I don't know I don't know if they have anything like immediately after that, but I know in 2018 they put out a new album. But
was it new, or was it just stuff they recorded and
oh
finally
no, it was
released?
new.
Okay,
Yeah,
got that new.
but I'm pretty sure like their lineup changes a lot. I don't think they like because it's a super group, and I'm pretty sure like I don't know how much it changes album to album, or if it was like the same group
That's
for like the
interesting.
first 3 albums, and then 2018 it's different. I don't really know, but it does make me want to check out Meredith Noms quite a bit. So, haha. I did really enjoy it. I'm glad you liked it. So,
That's the first time that's happened. I usually don't. I've been really good about putting the thing back in.
I like having the plug just to make sure like no
Dude,
like
it keeps
dirt
it
or hair
clean.
gets in
Yes,
there.
when it's like floating in my car when I'm at work.
Right.
Well, not that I use it at work, but it's just nice to not get the metal
Not have to
inside
worry about
it.
that or any like pocket lint
It's
or
like,
any
what
shit
is
like
that?
that.
A fucking pussy hair? What is that?
Dick hair? I don't know what that is. But
Who's been putting their dick in my
which one of you needle dicks has been doing this, huh? What are we doing next week?
I don't know.
Okay.
I totally blanked on it today. I don't really have anything set in stone. I'm not even gonna announce it. We'll just come into it next week.
All right.
Maybe I'll announce it. I'll voice over in.
Okay.
Because I have a couple things, but yeah, I just haven't had time to think about it.
Fair enough.
Kind of forgot to think about it.
No shame.
But yeah. So
It's gonna come out all the same.
yeah, pretty much.
But do you have any?
I do not. Take it away if you have some.
Okay.
I'm gonna have something next week. I'm thinking about a new topic
Okay.
instead of the movie.
Trivia.
Well, not my movie trivia. It's more like movie grossing.
I got you.
Who grossed higher? We're gonna do something different.
All right. So for this week's trivia, I have released April 11th, 2025. We have Warfare, written and directed by Alex Garland and Ray Mendoza. Budget was $20 million. Global box office was $31.5 million. So, well, at the same time, though, I can also see, like, how much, like, appeal is this movie going to have outside of the
It's
United
not something you can
States?
take the whole family to go see.
That and, like, also, like, outside of the States, what other countries are going to be like, yeah, see America, fucking shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Blow a hole in someone's house.
Yeah, they're just really going to fuck up this family's life.
It's my house. I felt so bad for them after that. I'm like,
Yeah.
who do you even call? Like, do you have insurance? Like, is that a
Yeah,
thing over there?
I feel like it probably not, bud.
Probably not. It's like you just have to live with a
like,
big ass.
so you like that tank like comes in and just doof doof
Yes.
doof doof. Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
No wonder people hate us.
Uh-huh. So, let's see. Warfare was filmed chronologically over 5 weeks. So, start to finish. First scene to the last scene, it was shot in that order. Which is very rare. Like, that's not... Normally it's done, like, what is the most practical way of filming this to where, like, if we
Yeah,
knock
I
this
could
out
see
first.
that, and weather depending too for a lot of it. But there wasn't a lot of outside.
No.
Where did they shoot it at? Do you have that for us?
I do not.
Because it had to be a nice. I mean, was it shot out in the desert? I'm sure it doesn't rain there a lot, so that probably wouldn't impact.
I don't know.
Or did they shoot it on location? They're like, we're going back.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's the thing is, like, I remember, like, I don't know. I did see, like, the footage at the end credits where they're kind of, like, walking up, and it looks like they're in, like, a village, but that could have just been some shit that they just recreated off of pictures. I'm pretty sure it was just, like, recreated.
I mean, that would make sense.
Pretty sure, because I remember them even saying, like, there's a part in here where it's like, yeah, you know, the set that they had, so it was, you know, wasn't the actual place, but... the film plays out in real time, starting from the title drop. At that point forward, the runtime depicts like real duration of like the mission itself. So like them like walking up to
That's
the
pretty
house,
cool.
entering the house, getting
Yeah.
the people. You know, cut ahead to the next morning, and then it's just like from the second it cuts to morning until like the time they leave.
What was the song they were listening to in the beginning?
Let's see. I have that. The film is devoid of any score, except the only music that plays in the film is the opening scene, "Call on Me" by Eric Price.
Call on me. And I like how they're just like,
Yeah.
it's like a bunch of hick white dudes.
Yeah,
Hick
just
looking white dudes.
Fucking
Just
getting into
fucking
it.
smiling. Just.
Like, man, look at them twerking it back like
It's
that.
like it doesn't. I'm sorry, I'm corrupted by the internet. It just doesn't do it for me now.
It's like if I was like 7, ooh boy, the awakening. And then the end credits, "Dancing in Blood" by Low. It was the only music in the movie.
A little different.
Yeah, not nearly as happy. Not nearly as happy. Names of the real SEAL members were changed in the film to protect their identities, as some are still serving in the military or preferred to remain anonymous. The only names that were not changed in the film are Ray Mendoza and Elliot Miller. Ray Mendoza was he was like the comms guy
Okay, that was the
that
dude
like
I
had to
liked.
like unplug the
Yeah.
shit whenever like the IED went off, and they're just like,
Yeah.
it's like, what's going on over there? We're coming in now, and it just gets louder, and he needs to, fuck, man, I can't focus. And then Elliot was the sniper that got his legs really fucked up, like the guy that got it bad.
Yeah.
So, Warfare is a love letter from director Ray Mendoza to Elliot Miller, who, after the traumatic events of the Ramadi operation, doesn't remember what happened to him. Like, yeah, that shit did a number on him.
Damn.
To achieve realistic sounds the actors could react to, enormous speakers were set up surrounding the house set, playing sounds such as dogs barking, etc. As per their leadership positions in the film, Will Poulter, Charles Melton, and Joseph Quinn were given leadership roles among the cast to simulate the real team's dynamic. Yeah. They were responsible for ensuring that the cast were punctual, knew what script pages they were like to be filmed. They were going to be filming that day. The cast even had to ask Will Poulter for permission to go to the bathroom while filming. So,
I think I've heard of that in some other movies. Like, it's like they try to keep people like in character.
Yeah. So that is
It's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he tries to talk to the little girl, and she's like, "No, I prefer to go by
no,
my."
you call me by my stage name, right?
Yeah.
My actor's name. Vice. Stop.
Because that is who I am, and that is who I care about.
Sorry, she's trying to knock over the food bowl again.
She's like, I know if I knock this football over,
I get some. I get a few.
I get the candy jaw.
But yeah, no, that is all I have for Warfare. I'm glad you liked it though.
I did like it. I like most war. Like, I've never really seen a war movie where I'm like
whack.
And I thought that one was pretty realistic. There wasn't a lot of.
It wasn't like overly actiony.
Yeah,
really.
It wasn't like this dude just shot like 87 rounds off without reloading one time. Because I watch movies like that now, and I'm like, this dude just killed like 20 guys without reloading.
Go.
Don't you just love how animals will do some shit, and then you get up and they're like, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this.
I'm going back to it.
Well, I let Haynes out before I came here, and he's like kneeling down, drinking out, like getting ready to drink out of the pot. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like,
huh? Nothing?
We're doing nothing, Dad.
Let me know.
Checking the pond level, pH.
That's all. So, yeah, no,
I'm not even thirsty.
Yeah, it was a good movie though. I really enjoyed it, and I would like to get a physical copy of it.
What's your favorite like war movie?
My favorite war movie,
or maybe top three, because favorite doesn't even have to be like in chronological order.
I mean,
just give me three of your good ones. This is a good one.
This is up there, and
have you seen Oh, I can't think of what it was. The movie where he's in the bomb suit and he has to
The Hurt Locker.
Yeah, The Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
Did you fuck with The Hurt Locker?
Hurt Locker.
I need to watch it again. I watched it as probably before I was banging. I was probably like a young teenager.
Flags of Our Fathers is also really good.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Directed by Clint Eastwood.
I don't think I've seen it.
Solid movie. And then whenever I was in Portland, what was it? We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson as like the commander. He's like kind of like taking them through. It's set in Vietnam. It's Vietnam. That was a really good ass war movie. Like I was into it. So.
Good morning, Vietnam.
And I mean, there's other stuff. I'm not like the biggest war movie guy, but I do like them.
I like one every now and then. Yeah,
I mean,
it's not something I really seek out.
Every now and then, like one of those will.
You should check out Band of Brothers. I don't think you've watched it, have you?
I haven't, but
it's pretty good.
Hear great things.
Yeah, it's good. I watched it.
And of course,
I don't watch stuff, so
Yeah, that's sense.
I'm glad you've seen Chernobyl though, and I'm getting into it. I know I'm late to the party. I got the Max, Hulu, and Disney Plus. It's like $18 a month with ads.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm like, I gotta start watching some good TV.
There it is.
There's the feet. Damn, is the clock off or something? I feel like it's usually earlier than this.
I kind of like mix up the times a little bit.
Is your oven still on? I swear that boy said 350.
Does it right now?
I think so.
Oh, maybe. Anyway, I feel like we're at the end of this though.
Yeah, we're close enough.
Yeah. What are we at?
An hour, but I think we started a little early, but we're pretty much there.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, anyway. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. I did not put anything as far as upcoming movies go, but I can tell you, like, off the dome.
Give him tell the story about what you just got to see.
Okay, yeah.
Give a rundown, because you know directors, you know all that stuff.
So the Danny and Michael Philippou, directors that talked to me. I did get to go see their new movie.
You got a VIP invitation.
Yeah.
Not really,
from the directors
but
themselves. No, it was cool. I was at work and one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, I know you like movies. You might be interested. AMC is doing this thing. They're showing like some upcoming horror movie before its release. $5 tickets. So you don't know what you're seeing, but it's discounted. So if you don't like it, you're only out a little bit of money.
Who gives a shit?
Right. No big deal.
One movie.
Hey. So, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm intrigued. Fucking, it was that night. It was like 7 o'clock. I get off work and I'm looking into it. I'm like, okay, so my theater's doing this. It's a couple minutes away. Yeah, it's all right. It's showing at 7 o'clock. It's got an hour and 39-minute runtime. It doesn't say what it is, just that it's horror. And
it gave you all the information you needed.
Sweet. You
Sly Fox.
Google it real quick. I'm like, it's Talk to Me. Let me buy the ticket right the fuck now because I don't know if
if other people are gonna know,
already getting their shit, so.
Does everybody use the internet on their phone, or is it just me?
Right. Are people sleuthing like I am? But yeah, so we went and saw it. Pretty full theater, and there was a lot of a lot of gasp and whatnot. And it was cool because whenever the trailers and whatnot got done, there was a little pre-movie clip with the two brothers being like, "Hey, we're Raka Raka. It's you're here to see our movie before it even comes out. We're really excited about this."
That's so dope, dude.
I'm like, as soon as
you've been a fan of theirs since the early days. I don't want to say day one, but I know it for a fact the early days.
A hot minute.
Yeah,
I've been a fan of theirs for almost a decade now.
Well, at least.
So
I thought I remember watching them when we were still in high school.
Not quite that early. Not quite. But
I'd lie for you.
You'd lie for me. But yeah, no, it was just as soon as they popped up, I was like, yeah, here we go.
so worth $5.
Oh yes. So now I got to see their new movie, Bring Her Back. Highly recommend
Almost said it.
Almost did. Well, they said in the movie, he's like, there's a deaf, a mute character, and someone's trying to get them to talk to him, and he's like, look, I'm gonna give you some of this fruit. He's like, but fruit ain't free. He's like, here's a pen, some paper. Just go ahead and talk to me, all right? And I'm like, oh, he said the thing. He said talk to me. It's
like that meme.
Yeah. He said the thing. I was going to say watch, the next movie's going to come out, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to be waiting. I'm like,
you're going to say it.
You're going to say bring her back, right? You're going to bring her back? So.
Bring her back here.
It was a really solid movie, though. I really liked it.
Everything you thought it was going to be, or did it hold back a little bit? Is there any...
I might have expected maybe
a little more,
5% more, but that's it.
It wasn't as good as Talk to Me though, in your eyes, right?
Not in my opinion, no. But it was fucking close, and I mean, it touched on a lot of the same things. It had similar vibe.
I feel like it's got a lot more gore to it than Talk to Me.
It gets.
But I thought Talk to Me was more of a. I don't know because I haven't seen Bring Her Back yet. But Talk to Me, I thought was very well. I need to get a copy of it. Do you have a physical of Talk to Me?
Surprisingly, no. I'm gonna get one soon though.
Okay.
It's on the list.
Word.
I think there was something else. I think there was something else that came out that I'm like, oh yeah, let me, and then I think I got that instead of getting Talk to Me. But
happens.
There's some shit like
It'll
that.
be there for you.
I need to get that. I need to get Long Legs. I need to get Alien Romulus. I want to get all of those physical.
I'm about to sit down and watch the Final Destinations. I need to sit down and watch them all.
Yeah, those just came out, and then this week, upcoming, we have Mission Impossible, the final Mission Impossible coming out.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Tommy's gonna come back.
Probably.
Dude looks like he's 40.
Yeah, I remember my dad was always like, he always like saw like a little bit of himself in Tom Cruise. He's like,
I mean, I can kind of see it.
he's like, I'm also an aging man with dark hair. I'm also under 5'10". All right, I'm really.
She's got them two things going for me.
We're basically the same guy.
My name's Tom.
He likes to run. I like to bike. Okay, so what? Yeah.
Same meats, different sauces.
You know, exactly. But so yeah, that's what's coming up. But of
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
course. But this has been the working hour. Till next time.
Don't work too hard now.